Nieu-Bethesda lies at the foot of the Sneeuwberg, deep in the great Karoo. There are only two roads in, one dust, one surfaced. Both lead to a village that seems to exist just beyond the reach of the modern world. People come here for silence, for dark skies, for space, to paint, write, photograph, to think, or simply to disappear for a while. But no one arrives empty-handed. They bring something with them, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, the habits of the lives they've left behind. And beneath the stillness, this village carries its own invisible boundaries, old divisions, old loyalties, old wounds. Some people never notice them, others cannot look away. For the past 17 years, one woman has lived between those worlds, not trying to change the village, simply refusing to stop seeing the people so easily overlooked. Her name is Belinda du Toit.
But I call it my window on my world. My husband and I have been in helping relationships forever. So when we came to Nieu-Bethesda, we looked at how we could help. That to us is our lives. We believe in it. And we realize that it's a very unique calling. It's not everybody's calling to get involved and help. We saw the poverty and we saw the desperation in the real folk. What I also saw that really alarmed me was the way they just weren't valued or welcome on this side of the village unless they were coming to work. And that broke my heart because they are the real folk. They are the folk that were born here, that will die here, and have always lived here. And, you know, for them not to feel welcome. Nieu-Bethesda, like a few other places in South Africa, has structures in place to keep people out. I actually do a meditation down Martin Street where we stand at the fence of the sports club and I ask you to close your eyes and think of yourself as a very young child, not school-going age yet, and imagining what you see through this fence, people having a good time, playing tennis, braaiing, you know, fellowshipping, having fun, laughing, drinking, and you know you're not welcome, but you're not sure why. And that is the majority of Nieu-Bethesda. This is Sudi. Sudi is 14 years old, and this year she left school because of bullying. So she's going back next year. Hey Sudi? She's just taking a break. Sudi's in my walking group, and she also helps me with my big program, my biggest program, which is called Bags of Love. She's been helping me, and now she's helping me with the eatery. So she's just doing, you know, kitchen work for me and just helping me. But what drew me to Nieu-Bethesda was the hope that I didn't have to desensitize. Because here when you help, there's hundreds of folk. It's not thousands like you have in the city. So I was hoping, I wrote about it before I came. I said, imagine a place where the stars come alive at night, where even the beggars have a face and a name. Because I knew all of them I started making friends with them before I even moved here, when I just visited. And then I would write about them, and their faces were imprinted on my heart, the desperate. And I was excited about that possibility, not having to self-protect, because in the city you can't help it. You have to. It's too much, But here I thought, I can have relationship with the people that I serve. So I do that, but it's really messy. You never arrive. You never ever arrive. And people are mentally disturbed and all of that, the desperate. So you have lots of layers of issues to cope with. But it's a wonderful life because I know them by name. I know some of their problems. I know some of their stories, Whereas in the city, you're too scared to get that involved or that close, No. I think you always have to take yourself wherever you go. And because of that, there'll never be a utopia, because we are all broken and we all have our pain and we've got to work through it wherever we go. One hopes and dreams for a place that you can call home, where your soul rests, where you can just, those of us who've worked hard, done a lot of things, later in life, we're looking for that peace, that calmness. But wherever you go, you have to take yourself with you. So I laugh a lot at myself on planet Bethesda because I would be busy on the moon. I'm one of those people, wherever I go, I've got to sort of create and I've got to churn out and and then I burn out every few years and then I'm like, and then I start again. Keep going, 10 on each platter, and do 3 platters into the oven. Yes, this side of the village although we all complain about the dust, we do prefer the dust roads and having no street lights. The majority of the folk living this side, the affluent side. Because it's like going back in time. We all were drawn to the village because we believed if we lived here, we could have a life that is not so full of the daily stress that you have in the cities and in the towns in South Africa. It's also, we don't have violent crime this side of the village, which is, in South Africa, that is a very, very big factor, for folk to choose. Everybody who moves here comes with dreams, Everybody's come from the city who lives here. When I welcomed the folk this side, I was told that I'm going to change the brand and that it's not good for tourism. And I said, well, we need another type of tourism that seeks out real experiences, authentic experiences, not ones that only want a staged experience, which is what the majority of the tourism here is trying to perform, in my opinion. The real folk must be part of it. Whether you are drawn to it or not, they must feel welcome. This is the city, this is the town square where we are, the CBD of Nieu-Bethesda. And I made them a little lounge there on the corner because they don't have any benches, nowhere to sit. They have to sit on the floor if they come here. And it's messy. The first day I did it, I had people sleeping there. And so my neighbors photographed and sent me a picture saying, "Did you imagine this?" And I said, well, it's going to be a journey. And if they find a nice shady spot to sleep in the day, so be it, you know. But you never arrive. I'm a Christ follower, and I really believe that Christ cared and cares about the poor. And so that's my core belief system. So I don't go to any church here because I don't believe they do enough for the poor. I do have some churches in Crawfordnet who every now and again support my programs or what have you, but I can't, for me, church must be a place where firstly all are welcome, okay, and here they're not. It's very separate still. And I can't play church, you know, go sit on a bunkie somewhere and pretend to be holier than thou. No, you must care, and church to me must be about caring. So I created the folk church on the back stoep there, the back veranda, and that's where I run my programs, my big programs. I have other programs. I do a welcome to the world bag. When the babies are born, they let me know, and then I drive to the hockey attached to the shack, and I bring them this big bag of love, and it's called Welcome to the World. And I've got from like 12-year-olds to 40-something years old, you know, mamas. And I love it. And this side of the village says I'm rewarding them for having babies. And they've blamed me for them having babies now, you know. So, you know, it's just a funny life, because I don't fit in this side, but I also don't pretend to fit in that side. One thing that's very important, I never arrive, and that I never pretend to have all the answers. I just believe in daring to care and learning to share. And I don't know where that's going to take me, because it takes me to places I can't prepare for. Fish, but we don't always get it. And it's all about sharing. That's it. If you stay here long enough, you're going to have intense experiences, intense emotions. It's not a superficial stay, although some have tried to come and make, you know, do these fancy stays, but they have their own incredible journey. They get lots of dust. So it really is, I think, a place that turns and stirs creativity. That's why writers, photographers, artists are very drawn to this place. There is something here that really is intense, and I think that's great for creativity, you know. No, I don't, but I do believe that people can believe in it. But, you know, to tell me not to help hungry children because I'm messing with their karma was just a little too much for me that day. Tomorrow our walk gets more intense. We do almost 5Ks tomorrow. Wednesday we build up, and then Thursday when we go to the big rock, you know, that is a 5K plus walk, and it's uphill. No, they're strong women, and We had to make a decision to close the group because in the school holidays, the teenagers wanted to come from, when they're home. And then it just becomes something else. And then we don't have the connection and the intimacy and all of that. So we made a decision to keep it a closed group for now. We'll see what the future brings, But for now, we're a closed group because we actually get to know each other and we support each other. And there's something to all of that.
Whoever can walk